Good morning, Year 3. Time for our maths lesson today. Now, as you know, we've been thinking all about money. We're going to be very much continuing that today and thinking about how we can now subtract with money. So we were adding pounds and pence over the last couple of days. We're going to think now about how we can subtract pounds and pence. Now, although we're going to be primarily thinking about mental strategies today, which means how we can do things in our head, like I said when we began our work on addition, it's not cheating at any point if you need to actually rely on a written method. So I just wanted to quickly sort of flag up how we could go through a written method if we needed to. We're not going to be primarily using this, but just in case suddenly there's something you're going, oh, do you know what, actually, I can't do that in my head. You are welcome to get out pen and paper, use a written column subtraction method. It's not cheating. It's not sort of doing the wrong thing. You know, it's using the mathematical strategies you have available to you. So although we're going to be mainly thinking mental strategies today, if you need to use a written one at any point, you're welcome to. So let's just look at how we would lay that out if we needed to, very much building on what we were doing a couple of days ago and yesterday. So if I was wanting to do £12.50, take away £9.45, I'd be looking firstly at how am I going to lay this out? And I can see here, £12, that's 1, 10 and 2 ones. And yesterday we looked at the fact that if we needed to go into pence, we could add on a little decimal point there or a dot, and that's separating our pounds from our pence. And I'm going to really make sure I'm lining these columns up brilliantly. So I'm going to make sure that the decimal point is lining up really nicely in all of this. And crucially as well, now that I get onto my other pounds, my £9 here, that's 9 ones. I'm going to make sure that's all lined up nicely. And again, my decimal point, I've got 45. I might just extend my answer box a little bit here so you can really make that obvious as well. That's £12.50, take away £9.45. And yeah, we'll extend our little black lines here too. So where am I going to start? As always, I'm going to start on that right-hand side. So 0, take away 5. Well, the trap many people will fall into is they'll look at that and they go, right, 5, 0, it's 5. Of course, actually, it's not because we're starting with 0. If I've got none, I can't take any away. So I'm going to need to go over here and do some exchanging. So in this case, I'm going to exchange. This is 10 pence. I'm going to take one away. So now that's saying I haven't got 50, I've got 40, and I'm going to exchange that for 10 1p's. So now I've got 10 take away 5, that's 5. 4 take away 4, that's 0. Now again, same over here. Really, really essential that because I've got my decimal point here in my question, I need it here in my answer as well. That's absolutely essential so that we're showing these are pence, these are pounds. So 12 take away 9, sorry, 2 take away 9. I can't do that at the moment. So I'm going to need to do some exchanging. I'm going to exchange one of my 10s. So I haven't got 1 anymore, I've got 0. And I'm going to exchange that for 10 ones. So I haven't got 2 anymore, I've got 12. Now it's 12 take away 9, that's 3. And 0 take away nothing, that's 0 as well. So crucially now I've got to actually look at, well, what number have I got? I've done the calculation. What actually is that in pounds and pence though? I could add back in my pound sign. That might help me to sort of see what I've got here a little bit. I've got £3 because that's really nothing there. I could have left that blank because 0 and nothing is the same. £3 and 5 pence. So £3, 5 pence. Like I said, we will not actually really be looking at that strategy today, but just in case at any point you want to use it, you can do. It's not cheating. You're very welcome to. So we're going to be thinking mainly then about our mental strategy for subtraction today. So here is a little warm up for you then. This is going to start you off thinking about some of these things that we've been thinking about lately. So Ron has these coins. He spends 52 pence. How much does Ron have left? And we can see some of the different amounts we've got here. So firstly, let's add that up. Do that in your head now. And he has spent 52 pence. Now there might be a quick way of doing this. I wonder if you've spotted it. He spends 52 pence. Could we actually just get rid of the 50 and the 2? We could, couldn't we? That would be a good way of subtracting here. So what are we left with after that? £2 and 21 pence. Next question, what is £1 subtract 20? 20p, I should say. So £1 subtract 20p. Well, let's have a think what £1 is in pence. We know that £1 is equal to 100 pence. So we're doing 100 subtract 20. 100 subtract 20, maybe do that in your head. We've got 80p. Similar sort of question then, £1, so that's 100 pence, subtract 25p. What are we left with? It's 75p. Okay, pause the video for number 4. We need to complete the additions to make £1 each time. So what is it we're adding to each of these amounts to total £1? Pause the video here, just write those ones down and come back to me. Okay, we've got here 40p, 30p, 35p, and 15p. Okay, so we're going to be looking today at some part-whole models. So this is where we've got that whole at the top, that's the total, and then we've got 2 parts. Now, previously, we might have seen this in a slightly different way. We might have seen 2 parts at the bottom, and it might have asked us what the whole at the top is. Here, we're getting it in a slightly changed way. So we've got the whole, and we've got one of the parts, and we need to find out what this other part is. How are we going to do this then? Have a think, have a chat. What is it we're going to need to do? What calculation are we going to need to do here? I can see I've got £5.50. I can see down here I've got £2.10. What calculation am I going to need to do? So one way we could do this, we could do a bit of exchanging. We could think not as a £5 note and 50 pence, but we could think about it as £5 coins, and that might actually help us. And also we could change that 50p for 5 tens. And now it's going to be really easy to do that subtraction, isn't it? That's going to help us to more easily visualize what's going on. So now if I take off that £2 and 10p, which is that part there, I can really easily see what I've got left. I've got £3 and 40 pence. And that's going to help me get my answer there. So that's one strategy we can use today, to think about our larger amounts in terms of smaller ones as well. So doing a bit of exchanging. Here's another one for you to have a go at then. Try to use that same strategy. Try to imagine then that we've got 5 £1 coins and 5 10p pieces instead of our £5 note and 50 pence. And let's subtract this amount then. So £5 and 50, take away £2 is £3 left and 50 pence, and then take away the 10p as well is what we've got left. That's our £3.40 that we've just thought about. Okay, here is a slightly different one then. So this is one for you to pause the video, have a think about at home. One way you could do this, you could actually draw some coins here to represent your £10 and 20p, and then actually start crossing off the ones that we're taking away. See what you're left with. Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at that. Let's see what that would look like then. So if we exchange this £10 and 20 pence for some other coins that were of the same value, we could maybe see something like this. We could have our £10 there, 10 £1 coins. And if we exchanged our 20p there for 2 tens, now we can start crossing off or rubbing out maybe some of the things that we've got here. So what is it in the right-hand side? What's that part there that we're taking away? Hopefully you've counted that off. We've got £2 there. We've got £1 there. And we've got 10p there. So now we can see what we're left with. So write down your answer then. What have we got left? That's right. We've got £7 and 10p. And that's the other part of this whole. This is what we've just looked at, and we've subtracted the pounds and then subtracted the pence. So this is another way we could look at this strategy. We could do £10 and 20p, take away £3. So this is about taking just the pounds away first of all. And that's going to get us down to £7 and 20p. And then we could do it taking away the pence. So this is a bit like the strategy we used earlier in the week where we added together the pounds and then added together the pence. We can do the same sort of thing here. We could subtract the pounds and then subtract the pence. We don't need to do it all in one big calculation. Okay, Now we're going to move on now to think a little bit about number lines. Now this is something we have seen before in year 3. I know it's something Mrs. Saunders has used with you before in year 2. So I'm sure this is something you will be familiar with. Let's recap though. Let's have a look at how we can use these to help us. So Ron is going to be using a number line to subtract £3.65 from £5. Let's see what he does. So he draws himself a little number line here with £5 at the end, and he's going to go back £3 because he's wanting to subtract £3.65. So if he goes back £3 from starting at £5, what's he going to land on here? That's right, it's £2. And now he's going to make the second jump. So the second jump, what's he got left to subtract? He's subtracted the £3. What's he got left to subtract? Well, we could do it in 2 jumps. We could do, you might have said 65p. This is showing it in 2 jumps. So we're going to have going back 60p first of all. Now what's £2 take away 60p? £1.40. And now hopefully you have worked out what we've got left here as well. We've got our 5 pence as well. So going back 5 pence. So what's 5p less than £1.40? It's £1.35. Now, you saw it there making 3 jumps. So it did it in £3 and then 60p and then 5p. Now, you can actually do it in any amount of jumps you like. It's about making this as easy as possible for you. So you might have actually been more comfortable going back £1 at a time. You could have gone 1, 2, 3. You might have felt comfortable enough to do the 65p all in one jump. It's up to you really. It's what you feel most comfortable and confident doing. There isn't a set way you need to do this. You can make the jumps whatever size you want. We probably wouldn't have just done one big jump of £3.65 because that might have been a bit tricky to calculate in our heads. But we could have done it all of the pounds and then all of the pence. We could have done it a slightly different way. When you were doing your 65, you might actually have wanted to go back 50 and then 10 and then 5. That might have helped you do that a little bit more easily as well. All of those strategies would be correct. It's just about what you're comfortable doing as a jump. Okay, so let's have a go at another one then. Let's see what we can do with this. We're going to do £5 take away £3.65. Now, Amir here is saying he can count up to find the difference. Do you agree? So the calculation he wants to do is £5 take away £3.65. Would he get the right answer if he actually starts counting up on his number line? What do you think? Maybe you could draw your number line out on a piece of paper at the moment and actually test this method out. Could you do that? If he starts making a jump up, maybe he could go, for example, to £4 and then up to £5 and work out what each of those jumps were. Would that be the difference between £5 and £3.65? And is that the same as £5 take away £3.65? Give it a go. Come back to me when you've got a bit of a thought on that. So Amir's method then, he knows that 35p more would get him to £4. He knows that another £1 there would get him up to £5. So he's saying the difference is £1 and 35p. And he's absolutely right. Yeah, this would be one way we could do it. So as well as going backwards on our number line, we could actually count forwards as well. And what this number line strategy is all about is breaking the calculation down into smaller chunks. So it's easier for us, for example, in this case, to go to £4 first of all, and then to £5, maybe than making that all in one leap. So as well as number lines, we're also going to see today a little bit of bar models. Now, again, this is something we've done a lot of in year 3. We've done some of in year 2 with Mrs. Saunders as well, I'll know. Let's have a look at how we can use these. So complete the bar model here. Now, this is a way of representing the difference between numbers. So £2.15 is our whole there. One part of it is £1.90. We need to find out what the other part is. Now, here's one strategy we could use for that. So we could have done a bit of a number line here. We could have gone from, if we're starting on the right-hand side here and doing some subtraction, they've gone back £1 to £1.15. They've gone back 15p, which they know would really nicely get them to £1. and then they've gone back the remaining 75p, and then what they've landed on there, 25p, would be our remaining part. So I can see there it's 25p is our missing part. But we could also do that another way. We could have done that going forward. So we've got these two ways of using number lines, and I wonder which you think was most helpful in this case. So just to look through this one counting forward, Amir counted on until he got to that higher amount. So he counted on 10p to get him to £2. And then he counted on the 15p that he knew would get him to £2.15. And then he'd add those two jumps together, 10p plus 15p to get him to 25p. Which do you think was most helpful there? Which would you have used if you were solving that question? Would you have counted backwards, the £1.90, or would you have counted forward? Which one would you think would have been quicker? I have to say in this case, I'd have probably opted to count forward because we knew it was so close actually. £1.90 is nearly £2.15. So I think probably counting forward there might have been a bit more of an efficient method. Have a go now with these two. You've got a couple to choose, well, a couple to do here, and you can use either of these strategies. You could count on, you could count back. See which is going to be most helpful. So the first one is £5.30p. Now one part of that is £4.85. What's the other part? Now I know those two are quite close actually, so I'm looking at that thinking, I think I would be counting on. I'd be finding out how many more it is from £4.85 up to £5, and then another jump from £5 to £5.30. And what about down here? I wonder what you're going to notice about that one when you do it. Here then we've got £5.30, and actually that one's 45p. And so what have we got here? We know that must be the same. When the whole amount and the known part have a small difference, it's usually easier to count up. And like I said, with this one, probably you'd have found it easier to count down. And you'd have found, of course, it was actually the same answer. So it's the same answer shown in two different ways. And when we've got a small part of a large whole, it probably would have been easier to count down. So with that one, I'd have probably gone £5.30p. I'd have got that down to £5 and gone down 30p, and then done the remaining 15 pence as well to get down to £4.85. Okay, here's the part of the video where you pause on each question, you give this your best go, and you come back to me for the answers at the end. So best of luck with all of these. I hope you get on all right. Give it your best shot. Do you know, it's the second day or third day maybe in a row, I've forgotten to add on the answers at the end. Naughty Mr. Ass, sorry about this, everyone. I'll tell you what, let me load these up quickly now. Sorry about this, apologies. So hopefully then you've been using those different strategies then. I mentioned at the start that we could use some written methods if we needed to. So we could well have actually done some column subtraction there. But I hope you were having a go at some of those either kind of less formal methods or maybe mental methods as well, because those can be really helpful and can aid us just to do those things really, really quickly, which is what we're ideally after. So we were looking at subtracting today then. So here are our answers. Apologies. So I'll get these all on one screen so you can see. So £4.50 for the first one, £11 and 15 pence for your second, and I'll leave you to have a look through the rest while I'm talking. Well done, everybody. It's been a good week of maths. I have been really pleased with what you've produced. Certainly the things that have been sent to me, I've been really chuffed with. What I've seen in class has been fantastic. And I'm really, really pleased as well with those of you who told me that you've been carrying on your maths learning at home. So you've maybe been looking in catalogues and having a look at some of the different sort of prices of things. You've been adding them up. I know a lot of you have been playing with money at home as well and actually getting some coins out and sort of doing some adding up that way. The more you can familiarize yourself with money and kind of really get involved in it, the better. That is going to really help your learning and help you get familiar with this key life skill, because we all need to use money and it's a really everyday bit of maths. So hope you enjoyed that. I will see you back here for your last video of the day. I think it's in computer lesson with Mr. Neves. And I will see you back here next week. Have a super weekend, everyone. I hope you've had a great few days. See you soon. Bye.